Hello, everybody.
What it do? What it do?
What it do? Welcome to episode 11 of Bear Down Breakdown. We are your co-hosts. I am Eli.
And I am Bruce.
And welcome everybody on a very weird Victory Monday.
Right?
Um, very strange, I don't know. I guess we'll get into it, but we got a lot to discuss. We won the game against the Texans, but there is a but in there.
A big butt.
Somewhere, a real big but, and I cannot lie. I will not lie in this episode, especially. Bear Down Breakdown episode 11. We want to thank y'all for those of you who are watching us live. We appreciate it.
No doubt.
If you're listening to us, we do a live video recording on this episode. We appreciate if you're listening to us audio, but check us out on the live, YouTube. We're on YouTube. We go live on Twitter. We go live on Facebook. You can follow us on any of those platforms and check us out when we go live. Also, you're able to join the discussion live. You can comment your thoughts. We'll reply and post them on the live feed, and it's just a cool way to interact with the podcast, because we know if you're listening just audio, we know you're probably like cussing us out, be like, what is this dumbass talking about? Just join us live and say that.
You know, but I hope, just don't. I'm sensitive, so please don't say that to me. Just kind of say that by yourself.
Yeah, just say it nicer.
Yeah,
say it in a
be
nicer
nice
way.
about it. Yeah, talk
what
to
is
me
this
nice.
guy talking about?
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, join us live in the discussion. We can talk back and forth and talk about our frustrations.
Yeah,
our beautiful frustrations. Anyway, like I said, we got a lot to talk about today. Bears won. Justin Fields struggled. Roquan Smith balled out.
Mm-hmm.
Whole lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Whole lot of weird stuff. But anyway, before we talk football, B, I got to ask you. I love your background, by the way.
Shout out.
That's a dope. That's a dope screenshot. But how you doing, B? How you doing on this Victory Monday?
Conflicted. I'm conflicted. Because if you saw my first tweet this morning, it was a little interesting, man. I got a dead rabbit in the middle of my backyard. The weirdest thing ever, man. I didn't. Yeah, and it's still there. It's still there in case anybody wants to know. It's been there since, I being a homeowner, it's certain things that you got to take care of. And I know I got to take care of it. I know I got to get it out of my yard because it's dead. And it's like, it's guts. It's like, it's out. And like I said, you go to my Twitter, Sir King Bruce. It's not a plug. I just want y'all to understand like what I'm going through right now and how conflicted I am, because I could just let it sit in my yard and eventually it'll rot away, or a possum puppy may come and get it and take care of it and feed his family. Or I can do the homeowner thing and get a shovel and take care of it. But don't let these muscles fool you. Like, I'm soft, man. I can't handle stuff like that. I don't watch scary movies. I'm not. So God. I'm conflicted, bro. I still got that rabbit sitting in my backyard and it's dead. And I'm just trying to figure out the backstory. Like, how did you get like that? Like, who did you encounter that late at night for you to end up like that? So I'm trying to just figure all this out. I'm trying to put the pieces together, and eventually I'm going to have to move it. And I'm debating if I want to record myself moving it, but if that thing twitches, bro, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna faint.
Yeah,
I'm gonna faint on the spot, and I'm gonna be laying right next to the rabbit. So, yeah, it's just a lot happening in my mind when it comes to the rabbit. So that's been my thoughts. That's what I've been thinking about all day, is how this dead rabbit with his guts everywhere, how it's gonna get out my yard. So
yeah, good luck with that. and
Yeah.
it was probably a coyote that was just chilling in your backyard
Mm, mm.
and
Made a way
mauled.
way to make that situation worse.
Yeah.
You got a coyote
Sorry to
just sitting in
break it
my
to you.
backyard. Huh?
But
Okay.
now that you a homeowner,
Yeah.
you got to know coyotes.
Bro,
They are not a joke.
they not,
So
man. They not. And I
they
hate,
are.
I hate, I hate when they say, "Oh, they're more scared of you than you are of them." Stop that. Stop that stupid talk. They sense fear. They will sense fear on my black ass. I know that for a fact. Cause they in they
Yeah.
mind, they thinking, "Oh, you die first in the movies anyway." So I know I got you. I got you in the right in the right position. You better not make any move and let me just have my way in your backyard. So yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
How you
Just, you know,
how you been,
don't even
bro?
ask me how I'm doing. I can't even
No.
top that story. I can't. There's no way. Bro, your tweet had me dying this morning. Had me dying. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Go follow Bruce. He's a funny guy on Twitter at Sir King Bruce.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was hilarious. No, I'm good. I'm good. It man, if and I think I talked about this last week when you asked me the same question, but this man, Bears Twitter is just so damn toxic. It's like,
Oh my God.
and it's getting more as Justin Fields gets worse and worse every week. Bears
Right.
Twitter gets more and more toxic. It's
Yeah.
craziness. I got blocked for the first time, I think, on Twitter
What? Are you
yesterday.
serious?
Yeah, for a tweet that I sent out, and someone felt some type of way about it. Um, he like quote
Wow.
tweeted it. He came at me, and then immediately I tried to reply to him, and then he blocked me. I couldn't even reply. He just blocked me. That's the
Wow.
first experience that I've had of that sort of nick. So I guess in a way we made it, like, or I made it
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. I
Once you get
mean,
that Bears Twitter block, I feel like
yeah.
I
You're in the
only have
club.
like 200 followers, but
Right.
I guess I made it. So there's
Oh
that.
man.
But yeah, I got my first taste of true Bears Twitter toxicity last
Congratulations,
night.
man.
And everyone was in their feelings after this game, good or bad.
Right.
And we'll get into it, Bruce. I want to know how you feel about it. I had my feelings about it. And since we're on the topic, we might as well just jump into it. And shout
Let's
out to
go.
my cousin, Mark. He's tuning in on Facebook. He said you can make some rabbit soup. Um,
Hey Mark, we found, bro. So I'm gonna just let you know. Nah, bro. That rabbit, I don't know. I don't know what to do, but it's not coming into this house. Nah.
yeah. He said if it twitches, move out your house because it's haunted, and that's true because the head is completely off. Like, but
Yeah.
based on that video you posted, there's he's like decapitated.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it twitches, yeah, just make room. Make room
Yeah,
for me
you
somewhere, bro.
might have to get you an exorcist or something.
Yeah. No, no, I'm saying just make room for me at your house. We don't need to come back here and do
You just
anything. Yeah.
completely abandoned. All right, I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. I take about
Gotcha.
3 pairs of shoes with me and a
3,
toothbrush, and
that's it?
I'm
That's
good.
it?
I'm
Just
good.
3?
Oh man, I feel like if the whole house haunted, my shoes gonna be haunted too, bro. We putting everything in the bag. So yeah.
Oh my god. All right, I need to move on. I can't laugh today because I'm feeling under the weather. So anytime I laugh, I'm gonna cough, and it's just not. This
Oh
episode is
man.
not starting in a good way. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the Bears because I've definitely ain't got
Let's
nothing
go.
to laugh about with that. Because Victory Monday, like we talked about in the beginning, we won. We are 2-1. Bears beat the lowly Texans, the Lovie Smith, Whitebeard led Texans. 23-20, I believe was the final score, right? I don't have the final score in front of me.
Yeah, 23-20.
23-20. Is that did you predict the score?
I think so. We gotta go back and listen, but I believe so.
I think it was
thought
very,
about that too.
very, very close. I think you either said 2017 or 23-20. I don't know.
I think I said 23-17. I think
Oh, okay.
that was the
Okay.
final prediction. So it was close.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bears get the dub. But big but Justin Fields struggles yet again.
Yeah.
He man, it's so confusing. It's confusing, it's frustrating, it's a lot of things because um he's just not throwing the football.
Yeah.
He's seeing ghosts. I don't know what it is. I'm not in his head. Everyone's going to try to, make the excuses to try to figure out the why. Shout out to Matt Nagy.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's so confusing for a kid who was so highly scouted, who was just a badass in college at Ohio State and showed a lot of flashes last year under an offensive coach that a lot of people think is probably one of the worst offensive coaches of all time as his head coach and under his system, and showed way more flashes last year. And it seems like as the games go on, he's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Getting worse. Yeah, it's super confusing. But B, what are your thoughts on his game?
Okay, so I'm gonna sound really, really just meatheadish, I guess, if that's the word you want to use, because we know that this Bears season is all about one person, and that's our quarterback. And so if Justin Fields would have came out and was 23 of 27 for 300 yards and threw 3 touchdowns and ran for one more touchdown, first of all, I would have won my fantasy if that was the case. Because I had Tom Brady and then I had Justin Fields sitting on the bench. But anyway, if he would have put up those numbers and the Bears would have lost, guess what? I would have been like, okay, I'm happy because that development happened, right? And that's what we talked about with Justin Fields, is the development. So if Justin Fields would have came out and had one of those type of games off a terrible game that he had last week against the Packers, and the Bears still lost, I would have been fine with that. Say what you want to say, Bears fans. I know it's about W's. I know it's about, however you want to feel about this particular team. I really don't care about this team because you look at this roster and you look at, Minnesota, Green Bay, Philadelphia. You look at the teams that's in this conference, let alone in our division, and the Bears are way off, and they're not going to make the playoffs. So let's just focus on what the important thing is, and that's the development of our quarterback. With that said, and this is me being a huge, huge advocate of Justin Fields, it's mental. It's something that's up there in that mind that's going on in his, that I don't know if the game is too fast for him at this time. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is because it's not just about the numbers for me, it's the eye test, right? It's the because when in that game against San Francisco, he didn't put up great numbers, but the eye test showed that he made plays when he needed to make plays. The last 2 weeks, specifically in this particular game, which look, we knew Lovie Smith. We know what Lovie Smith does for a team. He's going to get them to play hard. And I said that in the last show. I knew the Bears weren't going to blow this team out because, first of all, the lack of talent that's on the Bears roster. But I know what Lovie Smith brings to a coach. It's well coached. I mean, you saw the effort that the Texans play with, not just in this game, but if you look at their first 3 games of the season, they play with that type of effort. So, but I did want to see some type of improvement from Justin Fields. And when you look at his numbers, 8 of 17, he only threw for, I think, 105 yards, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. I believe he fumbled maybe once or twice. But when you just look at the eye test, man, just the missed throws, had Cole Komet open a couple of times. Granted, he hit him on a couple of passes, but he had some passes that, it was some head scratches. The interceptions were two head scratches. Like, what the heck was you throwing to? What did you see with Darnell Mooney? Like, what were what were you looking at? And so right now, I just think it's such a mental battle with him. And maybe the game is going fast, but you also see the confidence that the Bears coaches have in Justin Fields. And right now is none. I've never seen a coach, a offensive coordinator, whatever, in Getty make some of the calls on 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 15, not even giving this kid a chance to make a play. It's let's hand it off and punt, and let's just trust our defense with good field position. Oh my God, does that not remind me of a typical Chicago Bears team? Let's just trust our defense to win the game, and let's just keep our quarterback in his bubble. And it's simply because they just don't trust him. And I don't know, like, I know we need to be patient. But if the Bears win next week and Justin Fields give us this same type of performance, do we start to question benching him? Do we start to question, is he our long-term? Like, are we at that point yet? Or do we have to go through the growing pains with him? And so that's why, like, the word of the day for me is conflicted. Not just because I'm conflicted with the rabbit in my backyard, but I'm also conflicted with this quarterback. I'm really conflicted because, are we still patient? Are we still on that patience train, or is it just like it's kind of getting to that? Is it getting to that point where we just don't know? We don't know if he's the man or not. So I'm conflicted. I'm seriously, bro. I'm conflicted about Jay Fields right now.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, it'd be one thing if Justin Fields has been through these 3 games.
Yeah, it ain't even that.
It's not even close to that.
Yeah.
He has been absolutely terrible, and it's getting worse as the weeks go on. Like I said, he can make every throw on the football field. He can make every play on the football field. I've seen him throw dimes rolling to his left against Pittsburgh for a touchdown over an outstretched defensive back's hand where it was like inches away from batting the football down. He threw it on a dime. I've seen him rifle throws. I've seen him put touch on throws. So it has to be between the ears with Justin Fields. And I don't know if Luke Getsy needs to dial back the playbook. And it's oh God, it's so frustrating because we had this same. It seems like we just have this same talk with every quarterback that plays for the Chicago Bears. We had the same talk with Mitch Trubisky. We had the same talk with Jay Cutler. It's just a never-ending cycle of QBs that cannot seem to be developed here in this city. And it's so freaking frustrating because so many of them have just had so many coaches, so many different types of offensive systems, so many different types of weapons. Now, granted, a lot of people are trying to, use the excuse that Justin Fields he doesn't have the weapons around him. He has the second best running game in the league right now. Bears have the second most rush yards in the league as a team. And I don't care who the receiver is. I don't care if you're Cooper Kupp or you're Equinemius St. Brown. An open wide receiver is an open wide receiver, and Justin Fields is not seeing them.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter if we had Allen Robinson still. It doesn't matter if we went out and signed Christian Kirk for $20 million a year. If Justin Fields is not seeing them wide open and not throwing them the ball, what good
is a star wide receiver? Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anything, that'll probably create more problems because that guy's probably going to be complaining about how he's not getting the ball when he's open. And then you got locker room problems. And then, like, what it doesn't, that excuse does not add up to me. And then, not to mention, the offensive line has been way better than people have anticipated. Like,
Right.
yes, he's been sacked sometimes, but I mean, you go back and watch some of those sacks. Some of them are on Justin Fields because he can't get rid of the ball. He holds the ball so damn long. And I should have prefaced this before I started my rant, but I'm not giving up on Justin Fields. I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I'm not saying that he's a bust. I'm not saying any of that. I am still very, very, very cautiously optimistic that he can turn this around because we are only 3 games into the season. That's the only silver lining we have to this Justin Fields scenario. We are 3 games into his second year in a new offense. That's it. That's the only hope that we have.
Yeah.
That is the only hope.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? And when you look at Bears Twitter, and I love Bears Twitter, and I know we talk about the toxicity of it sometimes, but at the end of the day, I love Bears Twitter because it's funny. Because man, it's some people that just really they just got their blood, sweat, and tears into this into this team, and every play they live and die by it. But guys, relax. Let's just take a step back. Let's understand that big picture. This team is not winning the Super Bowl this year. And so the most important thing it's about development, and it's finding out if not just the young players, but most importantly, Justin Fields will be part of this team's long-term plans. Like that's what we need to figure out. And the only way to know that for sure is that you just got to let this kid play. You got to let this kid go through his growing pains. You got to let him play through his struggles, and you're gonna find out what Justin Fields is made of this year. Because to your point, like I read that the Bears are trying to go get a wide receiver. And it's just like, okay, so you bring them in. What does that really do if you got a quarterback that can't get the ball to him?
Yeah.
It hasn't been. I mean, we want to talk about the lack of talent on the wide receivers. We want to talk about the offensive line. Like we want to go on and on about everything. At some point, I watched. And I'm not comparing Justin Fields to Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, but I watched those two yesterday. That was the second game on Fox. I watched them, and I specifically watched Aaron Rodgers. And you want to talk about somebody that doesn't have a receiver to throw to. Like this kid, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is throwing to rookies. He's throwing, and I get that it's Aaron Rodgers, but man, it's just like not everybody has that star wide receiver on their team. And you know, the old adage, like, what makes a great quarter? Does a wide receiver make a good quarterback, or does a quarterback make a good wide receiver? And I mean, there's that balance, but man, it's just like if you want to consider yourself one of the best quarterbacks, like you just got to make your team better, hands down. And so, in order for us to get to that point with Justin Fields, we have to go through this. We have to go through this. And as tough as it is, and you look at his numbers, I don't even think he's completing 50% of his passes. I
Mm-mm.
know for a fact he has more interceptions than touchdowns. I want to say it's like 5-2, maybe 4-2. Like, I'm not really
4-2.
sure. Yeah. And so the numbers showing that, I mean, he's just not playing good. He's playing bad. You can't make any excuses for him. He's just simply playing bad. But guess what? You have to let him go through this process in order to figure out what you have in this kid, because you have so much riding on him. I mean, our hope is in Justin Fields, because imagine going through this and figuring out that that we gave up on him too soon. So that's the balance, right? You can't give up on him now because you really don't know. This, like you said, this is a new system, new coach. It's like, unfortunately, we just gotta ride it out.
Yeah.
We got to ride it out, but he has to play better. He has to get better.
Yeah. And
He
it's
has
it's
to.
it's 100% on him. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know what else you need as a quarterback to at least play decently. You have one of the best rushing attacks in the league. And you tweeted out during the game, I thought the running game was supposed to set up the pass game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, if we have this dynamic rushing attack, then why isn't Justin Fields seeing open guys? Because Luke Getzey is not perfect either. He's
Right.
done some things that have frustrated me too, like that call on 3rd and 6 where he ran the ball, and it
Yeah.
speaks to what you were talking about, how this coaching staff obviously doesn't have a whole lot of faith in Justin Fields. It's a 3rd and 6, and they were in Houston Texans territory, and they ran the ball. That baffled my mind. And settle for a field goal on that drive. I understand Justin Fields was struggling, but you got to let the kid at least try and sling it.
Yeah.
At least try, man. You know this was going to come with bumps and bruises. You have to let him try. So that's a call that with Luke Getzey that I didn't get. And then there was another play during the game where Justin Fields finally completed a really nice pass to Cole Kmet.
Mm-hmm.
It was his probably his second completion of the game, but it was his first like stand in the pocket, deliver the ball.
Right.
And Luke for a first down, and then Luke Getzey went run and run the 2 plays after that. First down run, second down run. And I didn't understand that because I get it, your run game was working the entire game, but you also want to get your quarterback in a rhythm. And if he delivers a nice pass, give him something else to stack that confidence, stack completions, stack get him in a rhythm. And then you went run after he delivered that nice pass. That didn't make sense to me either. But Luke Getzey is scheming some guys open, a lot of guys open.
Yeah.
And there are already people breaking down to all 22, and it's like on that run, that 29-yard run that Justin Fields had, a really nice run, that scramble. He had 2 guys that he could have thrown to that were wide open for a first down. 2 of them, not just 1, but 2. And yes, it's nice to have, to run a 4.40 or 4.3 when you're, if you're Justin Fields and you can escape the pocket and run for a first down. It's nice to have that. But man, it's like, it's still, even when he is making a play, you look and you see stuff that he could have done with his arm, and it's frustrating, man. I don't
So
get it.
here's his quote, right? He said, because he didn't sugarcoat after the game, right? He was straight up with it. He said, I just got to get better. I think that's it, straight up. I played like, I want to say the A word. He's the A word, I guess that's albatross.
Ass.
Okay.
That one. Yeah. No, I think you were right.
Okay. He said, but I won't. So I'll say I just played like trash. Good, outstanding Christian young man there. He said, play terrible and really just got to be better. So he knows. I mean, and everybody that's watched him, like, kid has enough pressure on him, but he has to play better. He just simply has to play better. And here's my fear. Here's my fear, bro, that the Bears are gonna actually win some more games over the next few weeks. Like, I'm seeing the way the schedule is setting up. I'm seeing how some of the quarterbacks that they have to face coming up is they're going down. The kid in New England, he just went down with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
So by the time they play New England, I'm pretty sure he'll be out. Mac Jones.
Jones, they'll be playing Brian Hoyer, former Chicago Bears quarterback.
The great Brian Hoyer. Matt Jones, by the way, went to, you know what college he went to?
Alabama.
Roll Tide, Alabama. And then the next week, I believe they got Dallas. Well, I think Dallas is somewhere in there, and we know Dak Prescott is not there. So I think some dude named Cooper is their quarterback.
Cooper
so
Rush.
that sounds like that's a weird name. But I just see like the way it's lining up, the Bears are gonna face some teams where it's no like this is a loss. This is a like these games are winnable for this team. And it's not it's just because of the way this team plays. They play hard. They have a great running game. I mean, shout out to the offensive line and what they can do to set up that running. Like we've seen it, right? We've seen it all season. Take away San Francisco because that the conditions were a little crazy, but against Green Bay and then against Lovey Smith, that defense who predicates themselves on stopping the run. Like the Bears are a great running team and they got a pretty good defense. Not a great defense, but they have that bend, don't break type defense. So they're gonna stay in games. Like they're gonna be in games, especially against the next opponents that's coming up. And so my biggest fear is that they win next week, they go to 3-1. Then you play Minnesota. That's a winnable game. Then you play New England. That's a win. So if they start winning and Justin Fields isn't the reason why they're winning, what does that do to his confidence? What does that do to his mental? What does that do to this fan base? Where it's just like, oh my God, we're in playoff contention, but we don't get, you know what I'm saying? So I just want the kid to just start playing better. Just be the reason why we're winning games and not the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, like the San Francisco game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because our two wins against Trey Lance and Davis Mills. So yeah, like the Bears have a good chance of being 5-2 in their first 7 games.
Oh boy.
Which is insane. Or even 6-1 if we get lucky. The silver lining to the Bears being 2-1 and looking ahead at the schedule and having it, seeing a bunch of games that we can win is if Justin Fields does sort of figure it out. I'm not saying he's going to go from this to freaking, Pro Bowler.
Right.
But if he plays at least a decent level, this Bears team is actually really good. It's actually pretty good. We have a dangerous running attack. We have a defense that's bend, don't break, can take the ball away. Yeah, I did not see at all going into the season that Justin Fields was going to be the biggest weak link on this team.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. Like I don't think anyone saw that coming. But he is. Justin Fields is the biggest weak link on this team.
And he's
so
your
if
quarterback.
He's the quarterback.
Yeah.
So if he can somehow get his head out of his ass, then guys, we should hold our standards pretty high for this team and maybe expect to win some games this year. Like legit. And yeah, I don't know if he will though. I don't know if he will. That's the thing. I'm not expecting it. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm not expecting it.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing my kids. Sorry, guys. Gotta text the wife, let her know. Keep the kids a little quiet over there. But yeah, you think of like quarterbacks that start off this way, and I don't have any statistics backing this up. I don't have any research backing this up. But you think of a quarterback that starts this way, how many of them actually bounce back and start playing really well? Like how often does that happen?
Within the season.
Yeah, within the same season.
Within the same season, yeah.
Because completely fix this
Yeah.
within the season.
Right. It's hard. It's difficult.
It's hard and it's not likely.
Right.
Like all the odds are stacked against Justin Fields. If we thought the odds were stacked against him in the beginning of the season before he even played a snap,
yeah.
Now with Luke Getsy obviously still learning as a play caller and still being spotty at some times with an offensive line that's spotty sometimes. And now it's his confidence is damn near shot.
Yeah.
Man, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I
You
don't
know,
know.
when you look at the rest of the season, right? And I'm just like the way the season is just shaping up with some of these teams. Look at the schedule, and it's not like a defense that's on our schedule that you're just like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared that he's gonna go against this defense. I mean, look, Belichick is Belichick, right? But that's not a it's not a scary team. You know, Cowboys, okay, the Dolphins are playing well, but they give up points. He's gonna have opportunities I guess show what he's made of. I mean, you get to the last part of the schedule, and you got the Packers, Eagles, Bills, in back-to-back weeks. But by that time, I mean, hell, that's in December. Like you got the Packers December 4th, the Eagles December 18th, the Bills December 24th, Christmas Eve game. I mean, that's in December. So by that time, if he is still the way he is, then then you got a lot to worry about at that point. But
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, it's up to Justin Fields. That's it. Because within the season, you can't like what can you do? You can't scheme differently. You can't like
He's already
it,
scheming perfectly well, if you ask me. Like,
exactly. You can't dial things back. You can't pull things back because yeah, you can't. You can't. So ultimately, man, it's up to Justin Fields.
yeah. And he's
Ooh,
got that's a steep hill. That's a steep
yeah,
hill he's got to climb.
yeah, man.
Super steep hill. And yeah, so my tweet that got me blocked.
Yeah, what
Um,
was that?
so basically, I said, and I feel like I feel like it made some Bears fans angry. I can kind of see why. I was heated. You know, this was like maybe an hour after the game, so everyone's tweeting out their feelings and stuff.
Okay.
Um, but I said the same people that are saying just enjoy the win, because people like to tell people how to fan
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. You got the fan police out there that are like, because you had people complaining about Justin Fields, and so you got other people replying like, "Just enjoy the win, man. Shut up, stop complaining. You sound like a whiner." So I was like, so I said the same people saying just enjoy the win are the same people that were hype about making the playoffs 2 years ago.
Mm.
Because what good was that?
Right.
What good was making the playoffs that year? What good was winning those couple of games that we probably should have lost
Yeah.
that year? Because if you think about it, that was that offseason after we lost to the playoffs to the Saints was the draft that we drafted Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And what did we do? We traded up for him. Could you imagine if we just didn't make the playoffs, lost those couple games that we needed to lose? We didn't even have to trade a first round draft pick to move up to get him. And then we have a first round draft pick the year Ryan Poles this past draft.
Mm-hmm.
He has a first round draft pick to work with. So it's like, if you're celebrating a 2-1 record and just completely dismissing the fact that Justin Fields is playing terribly,
Right.
horribly right now,
Right.
then you are missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So many of Bears Twitter and Bears fans, podcasts, radio shows, everything. Everybody was saying the record doesn't matter this year. What
Yeah.
matters is Justin Fields. He is the most important developing commodity on this football team. Forget the win-loss record. Well, a lot of y'all ain't backing it up because it seems like you just care about winning football games and the fact that our hope in our franchise, the reason why that's the thing. I want to have sustained wins.
That's it.
Sustained winning.
That's
I
it.
want to be in a playoff picture every single year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only way you do that, and it's proven everywhere, I don't care what you say, you don't win it with turnovers on defense and rushing the ball for 280 yards a game, because that's not sustainable. You're not going to do that every single year. The only way you sustain wins in this game is finding the quarterback. That is it. That's the only way. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
So if Justin Fields ain't it, we are back in football hell, especially if we keep winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, what if we keep winning games and Justin Fields keeps playing like doo-doo? Well,
Yeah.
welcome to football hell, because this ain't going to happen next year. It ain't going to happen next year.
My favorite non-Chicago Bear player at this moment is a guy by the name of, as a quarterback by the name of Joshua Patrick Allen. That's currently the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. And I remember when Josh Allen was drafted, he kind of got the same, he had the size, right? I mean, Josh Allen's 6'5", 240. Like, he had the size, he had all the tangibles, but you look at his first year with the Buffalo Bills, he was 5-6. Year after that, he was 10-6. They didn't put a lot of heat on him. They didn't put a lot of pressure on him, but it was that defense, run the ball. Josh Allen, you make play. But man, I want to say like the last 3 years, including this year, he has just simply taken that next leap. And now you see he's a MVP type caliber quarterback. And when I look at Justin Fields, like and I know people will say, well, it's Josh Allen. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But I'm specifically talking about when Josh Allen first came into the league compared to who he is now. Like, it was a development process. And so when I look at Justin Fields, I'm just like, guys, Buffalo is going to have sustained success moving forward because of Josh Allen. The Baltimore Ravens are going to have sustained success because of Lamar Jackson. I know Kyle, my guy in Arizona, and he's getting a bad rap right now. But you see the talent that's there, and they're going to be okay moving forward once they put the right pieces. But I really believe in Murray. When you look at some of the young quarterbacks, the kid in San Diego with the Chargers, Herbert, like, those teams are going to have sustained success because the quarterback, they allowed the quarterback to develop, and the focus was the quarterback. And when you look at a team like the Chargers, when you look at a team like Buffalo, they are now in a position where they can just add the right pieces because they know they got that dude that's gonna, they got that quarterback, they got that guy. So now you start to see, the Chargers went out and they rebuilt their entire defense because they know they got the quarterback, and he, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see with the Bears. That's the type of sustained success that I want to see with the Bears. To your point, that's a great tweet that you had. I don't know why you got blocked. People, they sensitive these days. That was a great tweet. Why do you look at this 2-1 record and you're just like, oh my God, we've arrived? No, we have not. We don't got a freaking quarterback. This is not gonna last. This NFL is all about the quarterback. What we see in Chicago right now, this will not last, guys. We've seen this story before, and we've seen how it played out. So let's not like you said, what you say with the forest and the trees when the sky is blue and the green pinery. That's you exactly right. Don't look past that. Don't look past the pinery and the trees and the forest, because this is not sustainable. It's just not, man. And
just look at that I thought, sorry, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Just look at that last game. Look at that last game, man.
Yeah, bro.
We rushed for 280 yards.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to be in a close game against the Houston Texans if you rush for 280 yards. Yet we needed Roquan Smith to save us with the game-saving interception.
Exactly.
That speaks to how much you need a quarterback in this game to throw the football, because Justin Fields could not throw the football. So we needed a defensive stop against Davis Mills and the Houston Texans after rushing for 280 yards at home at Soldier Field.
Perspective. It's about perspective, and that's yeah.
Like, come
That's
on,
not
man.
supposed to happen,
You
guys.
expect games like that to happen
Yeah,
every week? By the way, we play Josh Allen this year
I know, I know.
in the Bills.
Yeah,
You think if we rush for 280 yards, but Justin Fields has 100 yards passing, we're going to win that game?
not at all.
Hell no.
Not at all. Not at all.
Hell
I
no.
mean, look at the game last week. Look at the game last week, and look at the game David Montgomery had, and how you. I mean, it wasn't garbage time yards that he was getting on the ground. David Montgomery was doing his thing against a really good Green Bay defense. Like I watched that defense yesterday against Tampa Bay. They got a really good defense, and
Dude,
David Montgomery was carving them up earlier. And then you added Herbert and what he was doing last week. Like the running game is like you said, one of the best in the league. We are not trying to hype this Bears team up.
hell
We
no.
It's just like when you watch them, they have a really good running game. And so that should make the passing games easy or easier for
A lot
Justin
easier.
Fields. And you just don't see that. You don't
Yeah.
see it.
And that's what's so frustrating because you know it's making it easier for him and you know that he can do it. You know he can make these throws. Every single open dude that you see in the all 22 with him running wide open and Justin Fields doesn't see him, you know he can make these throws, man. It's just something going on in his head. And it's gonna be interesting because if Justin Fields can't figure this out, but he has all the physical ability to do it and he's done it before, this coaching staff is going to take a hit. Luke Getsy is going to take a hit because it's like, why can't you develop this quarterback? Why can't you get him out of this rut?
Right.
Luke
Yeah.
Getsy's got to find something. Got to find something. Help him out. Help him out. I don't know if it's quick throws that he needs in the beginning of the game. A lot of quick pass game. To gain his confidence up. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it's gonna take. I really don't know what it's gonna take.
I don't know either.
Hey, he had me looking at like Mitch Trubisky stats from
Ooh.
his second
wow.
year because I wanted to see what Mitch Trubisky was doing.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, he also had a second year under a brand new system because Matt Nagy came in his second year. And you know, a lot of people the comparisons between Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky in terms of their situations are pretty similar because Mitch Trubisky was the same way in that in his second year, everyone wanted to throw away his rookie year. Everyone was like, forget that rookie year. You know, it was terrible. This is your rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
Your first year with Matt Nagy, your second year, this is your rookie year. And yeah, I mean, he had 591 passing yards in those first 3 games. He had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The touchdown interception ratio is similar to Fields. Fields has 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But Justin Fields doesn't have nearly as many yards.
You know what, man? Not even close. It's just not. If you watch Justin Fields and it's not the system. It's Justin Fields. Justin Fields, there's something going on in that mind of his, and it's just not. It's not clicking. It's just not clicking right now. And it's not a system thing. It's not a, when you're supposed to make the check downs, you're overthrowing Darnell Mooney and it's getting intercepted. When you got a wide receiver wide open, Equinemius St. Brown last week game, you throwing the check down. You know what I'm saying? So he's conflicted.
Yeah.
The word of the day, conflicted. He's conflicted right now. And it's again, we could blame the system, we can blame Getsy, we could blame.
And in no way am I blaming Getsy.
No,
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, as an offensive coach, sometimes you have to look at your quarterback, knowing that he can make all the throws that you're asking him to, but he's not. Saying, hey, right. What can I do to make this easier on you? What can I do to help you out? You know what I mean? Like Justin Herbert, the example that you gave, he's a perfect example of, would you rather have a really good win record with your quarterback playing terribly, or a terrible record, but you have your quarterback. Because in his rookie year, the Chargers, they were terrible as a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
But Justin Herbert was balling out, and you
Yeah.
knew, okay, we got something with this kid.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
his rookie year, the Chargers were going up to him and saying, "Hey, give me the plays that you like."
Right.
And he just gave them plays that he liked, and he succeeded. So I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know if Luke Getsy is doing that, but I'm just saying, like, as an offensive coach, sometimes uh, you gotta talk to your quarterback and see what's going on.
Yeah.
See what he says. What does he like? What plays does he like?
Yeah. Here's hoping for a good game on Sunday against the
Yeah,
Giants.
yeah. Let's do our way too early segment where we look ahead to next week's game way too early because it's the Monday after um, the previous game that we're recording this. But yeah, we got the Giants coming in next week. Um, are they? I don't even know their record. Are they 2-1 or 3-0?
They're 2-0.
Two and 0.
They play
Oh, they play
tonight
tonight.
against the Cowboys. Yeah. How about them Cowboys? Monday Night Football. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. NFC East gets a Monday Night Football game.
Of course. Of
Um,
course.
But yeah, we got the Brian Dable led Giants, and I know a lot of Bears fans wanted to see him get the head coaching job here.
Hmm.
Yeah, what do you think about this game?
Oh my God, it's the Spider-Man meme, where it got the two Spider-Mans pointing towards each other. That's the Bears and the Giants Sunday. Two great running games. Saquon Barkley is back. Like,
Balling out.
that dude is back. You watch him and he's just, oh my God, like, he showed why they drafted him so high and why he's considered one of the best running backs in the league. They're nasty up front, like they got a solid offensive line, but just like us, they don't know what to do with Daniel Jones, and they've been giving this kid chance after chance after chance, and when they just still don't know. They don't know what they have in him. But the difference between Daniel Jones and Fields is that he's been there. He's been there for a while. So and he's making improvements. Don't get me wrong. Daniel Jones is making improvements, but he's still, like, I think this is a make or break year for him. Under this new coaching, like, the Giants play hard, man. They play really hard. They play tough. And it's just going to be one of those games where it's going to come down to what Justin Field does. It's just, it's as simple as that. You know what you're going to get from the defense. You know what you're going to get from our running game. Like, and it's just going to come down to Justin Fields. So, yeah. The Giants, I mean, they still can't. They're good enough. I don't know if this is just an NFL problem with offensive lines, but I've yet to see an offensive line that can do both pass, block great, and run. But because the Giants, they do a great job in allowing Saquon Barkley to do what they do, but they still can't protect Daniel Jones, and that's been his MO since he came into the league. He's just never been able to play in a behind an offensive line that can actually protect him, and you see that sometimes. But man, like I said, that's what it's just gonna come down to, and that's like all these games, man. All these games are gonna come down to Justin Fields. So
yeah,
I don't know if we want to give a score now, but
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants. Yeah, you're right. It's two of the same teams. I mean, it's going to be very similar to a lot of some of the games we saw this year. Just which quarterback can make a play when they need him to.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to address the comment that was just made on our Facebook live video. It's just from your sister. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, say less.
All I got to say. Yeah, this game is going to be two teams that run the football well. I mean, stop me if you've heard this before. Two teams
Right.
that run the football well, and it's going to come down to which quarterback can play better.
Yeah.
The fact that we even have to question whether or not Justin Fields can outplay Daniel Jones is a huge problem in itself
Hmm.
because he didn't outplay Davis Mills, that's for sure, and Davis Mills didn't play well. So I love to say that this is a lock for Justin Fields, but it's definitely not. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, what's your way too early score prediction? Give it to me.
I'm definitely got to go with. I'm gonna go with the Bears. Um, I think the when it comes down to it, I just think that I'm gonna believe in Justin Fields. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna say this is the breakout game against the Giants, and we'll go with conflicted. I'm conflicted right now as I gave that little take there. But I'm gonna go with the Bears 24, Giants 21.
All right.
24-21 Bears.
24-21 Bears.
Yep.
Okay. Man, I am also conflicted. And what I'm about to say is going to piss off some Bears fans, at least the ones that even listen to our show.
Mm-mm.
I think this game is going to be very similar to the Green Bay game. We're on the road. They have a dynamic running back, just as the Green Bay Packers had Aaron Jones. If you thought Aaron Jones was good, Saquon Barkley is that next step up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very similar to that game in that if Justin Fields struggles and our offense as a whole struggles, we have 3 and outs and we leave our defense out there, they're just gonna Saquon Barkley's gonna run for 180 yards on us. So until Justin can prove me otherwise, I'm not saying like I said before, I'm not giving up on him. I'm not saying he can't play the quarterback position, but he just needs to prove it to me at this point. I'm done having blind faith in terms of like saying, oh, Justin's going to do this. You don't know what you're talking about. Justin's going to be this. I can't do that anymore until he proves it to me. So I think Justin struggles for another week, and I think Bears lose. I'll say 2017. Giants get the dub. Hope I'm wrong. I will gladly jump on this show Monday and say, Bruce, you were 100% right in this one. Gladly eat crow. I will gladly eat crow if, Bruce, you are correct and Justin Fields goes off and we get the dub in this game. But
Crow is good fiber too, by the way, so keeps you regular.
No more IBS for me. Yes. JK, that was TMI. That was TMI. I don't have IBS. It was a joke. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm in a prove it to me mode with Justin right now, and that's unfortunate because bro, literally, I wish I could flip my camera to show you my man cave because I have this little Justin Fields like football action figure right here that I freaking bought, and it's sitting on my freaking bookshelf, and it looks super cool. Yeah. But every time I look at it now, I just want to throw it across the room.
Stupid ass action
figure. Stupid ass Amazon for freaking suggesting it to me and knowing that I'm gullible and shit like that.
Oh man,
use my language. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now, and I'm still optimistic that he can get there eventually. But for the rest of the season, until he proves it, I'm just super cautious and semi-doubtful with the kid right now.
I understand.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. That's going to conclude episode 11 of Bear Down Breakdown. If you tuned in live, we appreciate you. If you commented, reacted, whatever, besides the Tina comment, I'm not going to address that one.
Yeah.
We
I don't even know who
appreciate
that
y'all.
is. Get her blocked.
We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And win or lose, we'll talk to y'all next week.
No doubt. Peace.